What's going on? It's Justine here, and today I've got one of the games of all time. I'm just going to get right into it, no dilly-dallying. Alright, so we start pretty normal opening. I'm actually going for the lighthouse here just to develop economy faster, because, you know, Wenger economy is not the best, so let's get that eco rolling, get things going sooner. And my second city is terrible, absolutely horrible. But I do find a ruins, and that makes up for everything. Ruins OP. But yeah, I get a resource ruins, which is absolutely insane. Already at this point, I think it's worth pausing to consider, what's the game plan here? I just got a resource ruin. This is a very important point in the game already. What should I do with it? So assuming you've given a chance to look at things, I go for the forestry and see how things go from here. Getting fishing, just to level up that city. Getting those workshops because I really need that economy. And you can see the city right in the south, the one I'm about to capture. Look at that thing. 7 forests. Kind of insane. Ruins just gives me an explorer, which it's fine, but not the best thing in the world. I meet the opponent perfect timing. It allows me to get math, level up my city, and I could be getting myself a giant soon. But a giant's not going to magically win me the game. I gotta do more than that. But I am actually getting a decent eco. For Wenger standards, this is pretty good. I'm getting that border growth, and it's a pretty expensive way to get a giant, but there it is. Park of Fortune right there. Another sawmill, getting another border growth. And maybe you can see why I'm getting all these border growths. I'm getting writing and roads before opening the ruins. I was really hoping to get trade. That's why I bought the writing roads first, is really just for that gamble, but doesn't quite pay off. I wasn't planning on training units anyway, so it is still fine, I guess. I get that trade though. Turn 12 market, and it's a juicy level 8. Look at that market. Turn 12 with Wenger. I mean, that's crazy, right? But the game's definitely not over. Like, I'm not magically winning after I get a market, especially against Aquarion. And not just against Aquarion, but look at how this lakes map generated here. It is just a massive lake in the middle of the map. So I need to go naval to win against Aquarion. So this game's not gonna get easier. I'll say that. I'm getting that eco going though. But I need to figure out, how am I gonna break through Aquarion? Because they've got really good naval combat. And this opponent's not really a slouch either. So I'm getting the climbing mining so I can get some forges set up to just get even better markets, get a nice explorer to, well, explore. And the opponent's already on the eastern side of the map, so I'm not going to be able to get my hands on very many villages. Just looks like I'm going to get 2 more, and that will be all I have to work with. But again, I'm just developing. They've got some sharks, and they're actually going to take away one of my cities. There's not really a whole lot I can do about that city in the west, or sorry, city in the east. So I really only have 1 more city to work with, and that's going to be just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by the looks of things. Sorry, 7 cities actually. I currently have 6. And it looks like the opponent has already stabilized in the water before anything's even happened, before I've even gotten a chance to get in. So I'm just kind of developing my eco instead. There's not really any point in trying to just go full naval right now. I'm just going to run my giants and they're going to get destroyed. So I'm building some catapults to play defense so then they can't invade me. And I'm going for philosophy, and I'm playing the long game, which seems a little weird, but you got to trust the process here. So I'm also trying to keep the pressure up to really force them to train some units. And yeah, right now I don't have a lot of vision, so it's really tough to tell what's going on, but I don't really want to risk things, because if I put all my eggs in one basket, it's just going to be over. So I'm just continuing to develop my eco. You know, classic Vengernomics, getting that star per turn all the way up. Look at that. Clean 70 star per turn, but it gets even better, 71, 72. And we're just trying to play some more defense, getting a Mindbender and a Catapult. And we're getting some Giant Spam going too. But again, the question is, how do we get in the water? I'm trying to pressure on the east because that part of the map looks pretty weak. And I'm getting Spiritualism to get even more eco. Look at that economy, 76 star per turn. It just keeps going up. But we can only go up so far. We gotta train units to win the game, and they defended the east. They've got plenty of toads, and they're trying to counterattack. They're sending a toad in to put some pressure on me, but I've got plenty of units. I can defend just fine. And yeah, so I'll be fine there. And I'm going to start exploring the water now to see what's up, which it's not the most promising. They've got some units, all right. So I'm not going to go in yet. I get a border growth to take some space. But they've got pretty good defense, and it's only going to get harder and harder to break through as this game goes on. So yep, they're just building up more sharks because those counter rammers really well. So if I want to rely on those, I can't really do that anymore because sharks are amazing in rammers. But I am able to take advantage of their overextended toads. Take one out. I get Chivalry, a bunch of attacks all in one go. Philosophy making things cheap. Gate of Power, more border growth. Again, I may only be on 7 cities to however many they have. They definitely have more than me. I do make a bit of a mistake, give them that free siege, but I'm just hoping I have some sort of avenue of attack, but I'm not really seeing it. I go for a chain. Unfortunately, it's not that good. Lighthouse is nice. Another Mindbender. Getting more rammers. And I'm, again, just trying to establish some sort of naval presence because I don't have it right now. But I will say at this point in the game, the opponent started to go under some time pressure, which was kind of keeping me in this game. He didn't have much time to think. I wasn't under any time pressure yet, but things do end up changing. But he gets mathematics to further solidify his defense, and he's going for my giant. If he can take out a giant, that's one less giant I have, but he doesn't, and I can send the giant back to retreat. And I might almost be able to get one of its toads, that 2 HP toad. He's got to retreat that now. Although I can kill the rammer, so no time to even retreat. If I can take out his toads, that's pretty good for me, but if he's got more cities, that means more toads, so I'm going to have to chew through a lot. But I'm trying to get those rammers. Just if I can get some naval presence, maybe I can get something going. I'm getting another giant. Just trying to pump all my economy into naval, make things happen. But they've got a good defense. They're training sharks. They're making some jellies to make things even harder for my rammers. And they're chipping away, so I don't really have a good attack. I can't really go in on the east anymore. They've got their own markets. So I have to do something, but what can I do? Still just pumping out rammers and hoping something happens. Get a scout, try and chip away at these sharks. Get my first Juggernaut, get diplomacy, explore the capital. Then, again, they're setting up a defense, though. There's not really much I can do. I mean, and the longer I wait, the worse it's going to get. They're continuing to develop. I've kind of stagnated a little bit at 83 star per turn. But I'm trying to get as much value as I can out of my units, and maybe, just maybe, there will be some sort of opening. But for now, I'm just trying to get as many rammers as I can, because if I can just get some breakthrough, then we're set. And I also get navigation. I set up my first bomber and I protect it with my life. If I can set up some area to get some space and really be able to put a bunch of ships, then maybe it'll cause some problems and I can get something going. Because in the east, right now, they have puffers. Things aren't looking good. But in the west, they don't have any puffers. They've got a lot of toads, though. And a lot of jellies and a lot of sharks. But I'm making more bombers, and I'm, again, protecting those bombers with my life. Like, those bombers need to stay, and they need to control the area to just push them back so then I can make even more ships and just really get going. Like, I'm actually starting to get something going now, but is it going to be enough? Again, in the east, they're fine, but they just got to hold down the west, and they'll be fine. They're taking one of my juggernauts down. Again, giants are a finite resource. If I lose my giants, I could lose the game. They're pressuring my bomber. I didn't protect it very well, but maybe they overextended. I've got some catapults on defense. Get another bomber, start firing away, just destroying their toads. And just like that, their attack didn't pay off. They just lost 2 toads. And I'm able to move my juggernaut back to heal. And I've got a nice little mindbender station back there. Suddenly, there might be a chance if I can just throw as many units on the water as I possibly can, then maybe I can get somewhere. I'm also sending some cloaks in the east just to further pressure them, give them something to deal with. And they're just continuing to try to spam some units. They've got more puffers. There's no way I'm breaking through in the east. They've still got a city advantage, and the longer things go, the better their defense is going to get. So it's now or never. And again, getting as much naval presence as I can, sending the mindbender to heal my bomber, getting all my giants in the water now, and just hoping that this is enough. Getting another giant, and they're sending all their jellies in to damage everything, making it really hard for me to advance. But I've got the catapults and I've got the bombers, and those are going to be the perfect answer to the jellies here. You kind of see in a bit. So everything goes, and suddenly, again, they're extremely strong in the east, but they've got a weak spot. I'm sending a bomber. I'm able to protect another bomber. I'm just going all in. And then in the east, I'm pressuring with the cloaks, trying to see if I can find some opening, keep them honest there in the east. Trying to chip away so then they can't move their eastern units to the west. They're still trying to defend, but I've actually got a push on my hands. If I can take one of their cities, then I'd get a massive foothold and I could potentially be winning. They've been up in cities for a while, and they've been getting their eco going and slowly building an advantage, but maybe it crumbles right here, except I'm going to lose one of my juggernauts. That's a valuable asset that's just gone now. Never getting that back. And what I'm really worried about here is if I try and siege one of their cities, if they just push with a crab and hold on to things, then that could be it. But I'm just going to press on and hope for the best. I got to go all in, because if I don't, if I give them time, they are going to win. So I'm going for the siege. That siege I know is not going to hold, but it's just a setup for next turn. Just clearing out their units, chipping away at everything, bringing those juggernauts up, getting even more units in the water, tons of bombers, all sorts of stuff. And again, continuing to just pressure everywhere I can to just force all of their units to get overwhelmed. I'm getting another giant using Tower of Wisdom. And again, my giants are slowly losing health, so if I lose any momentum, then this game's over. They're able to kill another juggernaut. That's 2 down, and if this attack fails, I'll never get another chance. So it all comes down to this. So I go in, destroy everything, clear it all out, send my mindbenders up so I can heal some giants if I need to, and then land a siege, get another siege with a defender to prepare another giant siege, and they resign. Because at this point, you might be wondering, why don't they just push or get rid of the giant? Well, if they get rid of the giant, I'm just sieging again. And as for why they don't push, well, how do they push here? Here's the thing. It looks like they've got something. I mean, they could get construction to push, but that is super, super expensive. And look at their economy, actually. Only 67 star per turn. It looked really scary, but they actually mismanaged their markets a bit. So I was able to somehow be up in economy, and they've got 10 cities here, but despite that, because from my point of view, I'd say for most of the game, things were looking pretty bleak, but that's why you always gotta play to your outs, because sometimes it can pay off. And just going all in with this western attack, they've got quite a strong setup in the east, but I'm going to be able to take a city, and I'm just going to continue to build that advantage and be able to sneak a win. But, man, it was absolutely a crazy game. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Like and sub, and have a good one.